oops, that's an old Freudian slip, you know? Because the whole thing is that when we started shopping these, my husband and I, and it was for our backyard that had tons of shade, and we started buying impatiens, and we used to say, if only we could put these in the sun. Well, I'll tell you what, several years ago, SunPatiens came to light, and now we've had the SunPatiens ever since. You're going to get 4 of these big plants. One will be in white, which is the bright lights. You've got the Merlot Magic, which is that deep purple. We've got that beautiful orchid blush that you see there. And then we also have Rose Glow, which is almost like a fuchsia. It's kind of a reddish pink kind of color. You're going to get all of this for $34. And what you do need to know is that we've already sold 4,000 sets, and we have 1,400 sets left. So if you, I'm serious when I say this, this will sell out, I believe, in this hour. So I wouldn't wait, because people buy more than one set. My husband and I, we buy more like 3 or 4 sets because it covers a big area. And it's just, these are awesome. So anyway, I'll be quiet, but I have to say 1,400 left. Don't miss out on these SunPatiens from Cottage Farms. They are the best. All right, Alan, let's talk.
Okay.
Tell people what these really are all about.
As you said, these are SunPatiens. They're not like the old-fashioned impatiens that could not take the sun. These actually thrive in full sun. They can take the heat and humidity, and they're happy in those conditions. They are blooming machines. They're always in bloom. They'll probably have flower buds from the time you get them until the frost. So they're constantly putting out new blooms. They're self-cleaning, so you don't have to pull off the dead flowers. The flowers will fall off, and behind them will be flower buds opening, so you'll have this kind of conveyor belt of flowers falling off and new ones taking their place, so they always look fresh as a SunPatient.
They do. They really do. Yeah.
And then also, oops, sorry?
No, you please.
So they have these nice round habits.
Yeah.
If this was like a shrub, like a boxwood or something like that, I'd have to come out and shear it 2 or 3 times a year to get this nice shape.
Yeah.
But with these SunPatiens, they're self-branching, so they normally just do this on their own. They form this branching form that's just beautiful and soft. So I mean, just water them and fertilize them, and that's all you have to do.
That's the main thing, though. They need sun, and they need plenty of water. So speaking of fertilizing, we're going to show you real quickly what this Cottage Farms fertilizer is all about. And these are the easiest things ever, because it's just mixed with water.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to show you how simple it is. This is the bud and flower booster. You just get a gallon container of water, either a milk jug or a jug like this, or get a gallon watering container, and you open it up, and you take a cube, and you drop it in, and then you tighten it.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you put the lid on.
And then you just give it a good shake. And so many times, like when I mix fertilizer, I just dump. I don't use the correct amount because I think it's about right. But this is perfectly measured. And you can see it dissolves, and then you just water your plants with this fertilizer.
If I don't use all of that right at that moment, I can keep it in the jar?
You can keep it in a jar and store it. I store it in a dark place.
Okay.
So you don't get sun
like
in there.
In your garage
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
So that can stay until you're ready to fertilize some more plants.
Yeah, I love that. And that can be for just about anything. I mean, from plants to fruits and things like that, vegetables as well.
Right, exactly.
Going back to these, lots of you are ordering more than one set. Here's the thing, we've got them in pots, obviously, right at the moment. When you put them in the ground, they will just mound together. And so I say, if you want to cover about, let's say, a 6 to 8 foot spread, like wide, and about maybe 4 or 5 feet, from front to back, get one set. If you have more area than that, get 2 sets. Put these out there where the sun is. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
So we just put these all together so you can see them all in one spot.
That. It's such a beautiful combination. Actually, looks a lot like my shirt.
It does. It blends right in with your shirt. Good colors.
Exactly right. I didn't do this. The QVC did. But anyway. But you see what happens when you add the white? The bright lights is what they call them. I mean, the white just makes everything else pop. And that's what's so great about these. I'm going to remind you, we've sold 4,000 sets. We now 300 more sets out the door. If you want to get this, this is the time. Think about where in your home, and it does, or where outside your home, you could plant these. And actually, I'll tell you this too. If you wanted to just do them in containers, I'm telling you, if you've got a lot of sun out by a pool or out by your back deck, put these in pots, and I'll tell you what, you'll walk out on the deck and it'll look like a floral shop. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's show everybody what ships. And how long does it take to get to that point?
So this is the actual plant that's going to ship.
Okay.
And if you look closely, you can see it actually has flower buds already, so it's ready to bloom.
It does.
After about 8 weeks, you'll get this good gallon-sized plant.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the summer, if you treat it really well, you're going to have these beautiful mounds of flowers filling your yard and making you happy.
And you know what else? They last a long time. They well into the fall, don't they?
Yes, they're blooming machines. It's a party all summer long because the way the annuals behave, they only know they have so much time, so every day's a party. Every day they need to bloom because they only have so much time.
I love that. You know what's funny? I always tell the story. We have, you know, like irrigation thingies in our yard, and I don't even know what to call them. But the whole funny part was that every year when we would get the first kind of hard frost and we would forget to turn the irrigation things off, it would literally like water them at 4 in the morning and the water would freeze, and it was like they were like encased in ice. It was like colored ice.
Beautiful.
And then we always knew the next day they weren't going to be looking too good. But the whole thing was, that was a lot of times around here outside of Philadelphia, that would be in November. You know what I mean?
And
sometimes late November, early December.
I grew one of these on my deck and it looked good every day up until the frost. So from the time you get it to the frost, when it gives up the ghost, it will look great.
It will look absolutely spectacular. Walk us through the colors again, would you, real quick?
So we have this beautiful white, which is actually hard to find in garden centers. So this kind of ties everything together.
Hard.
We got this beautiful almost cranberry color. And then this is Rose Glow, which is this hot purpley pink.
Oh, I thought this was Rose Glow because this glows, but maybe
it's that one. I'm not sure because this one's kind of cranberry-ish. Anyway, they're beautiful. They're both beautiful. And then we have the Orchid Blush, which is that beautiful like lavender. That might be my favorite. I really like that one so much. Such a beautiful color, so soft and delicate.
Those are. I'm going to remind you, if you got to get this, if you want to reserve it for you, $34. And I'll tell you something. Here's the difference. Cottage Farms' difference is such that, yeah, you can go out and buy SunPatiens other places, but are they going to get this, you know, kind of robust, this kind of color?